Morning Year 4, today's active starter is going to be similar to yesterday's. So you're going to have two posters, one that says non-unit fraction and one that says unit fraction. I'm then going to show you some cards with fractions on them, and you've got to decide, is it a non-unit fraction like 5/7, or is it a unit fraction like a half? So I'm going to hold the card up and you're going to run to the correct poster, and then I'll tell you if you're right. Okay, let's get going.
Are you ready? Okay, go. 3/4. Non-unit or unit fraction? Well done. Non-unit fraction. 2/5. Go. Well done. Non-unit fraction. 1/3. Go. Well done. Unit fraction. 2/6. Go. Well done. Non-unit fraction. 1/10. Go. Very good. Unit fraction. 1/6. Go. Well done. Unit fraction. 4/8. Go. Well done. Non-unit fraction. Having trouble getting these. 1/2. Go. Well done. Unit fraction. 3/8. Go. Well done. Non-unit fraction. 1/8. Go. Well done. Unit fraction. 2/12. Go. Well done. Non-unit fraction. 5/7. Go. Brilliant. Non-unit fraction. Fraction even. 1/5. Go. Yeah. Unit fraction. And 1/4. Go. Well done. Unit fraction. Right, hope that's got you warmed up. Well done. For today's lesson, we're going to look at what a fraction is. So we're going to explore fractions in different representations. So for example, shape, like this circle here, quantities, like the counters here, or on a number line, like here. So using these representations to compare fractions helps us to develop our number sense about fraction size. So that's the big picture for today's lesson. The key vocabulary for today: fraction, equal parts, unit fraction, non-unit fraction, numerator, denominator, and then we're also going to be looking at those shapes, quantities, and number lines. Today we're going to have a look at what a fraction is. Let's recap yesterday's work. Can you have a look at this starter? What fractions of the cubes are each colour? And then which of the fractions above are unit fractions? And which of the fractions above are non-unit fractions? Pause the video now and have a go. How did you get on? There are 7 cubes, so the denominator is going to be 7. How many yellow are there? There are 4, 4/7. How many red are there? There are 2 cubes that are red, 2/7. 2 out of the 7. And then for the green, there's 1 cube, 1/7. 1 out of the 7 are green. Which of the fractions above are unit fractions? Do you remember the unit fractions has 1 in the numerator? So it is the green. And which of the fractions above are the non-unit fractions? Do you remember non-unit fractions have a numerator greater than 1? Well done. So it's the yellow with 4/7 and the red with 2/7. Let's have a look at this. What fraction is being represented? Can you pause the video and have a think? How would you fill in those sentences? How did you get on? Can you see that there are 5 equal parts? There are 5 sections. 1 out of the 5 equal parts is shaded. So 1/5 of the shape is shaded. Is that a non-unit fraction or a unit fraction? Well done, it's a unit fraction. Let's look at this one. What fraction are shaded red? Pause the video and have a think. How did you get on? There are 4 equal parts altogether. 3 out of the 4 equal parts are shaded red. So 3/4 of the shapes are shaded red. Which one is this? Is it non-unit or unit? Well done, it's a non-unit fraction because the numerator is greater than 1. Let's have a look at these. Which of these representations show a quarter, and can you explain why? Pause the video and have a think. Okay, let's look at all these. Let's look at this first example. You can see that there are 4 circles and 1 is shaded blue. So 1 out of 4 is shaded blue. So this one does show 1/4. Let's look at the second example. There is 1 section shaded, but this time there are 5. So our denominator would be 5. So that one does not show a quarter. It shows a fifth. Let's look at our third section. There are 5 equal sections again, and this time there's 4 shaded. So this one shows 4/5. It does not show 1/4. Let's look at the fourth example. There are 4 sections, and there is 1 shaded blue, but they are not equal sections. So this does not show 1/4. Let's have a look at the fifth one. You can see there's 1 section shaded blue and the white space is much bigger. Tiny thinks that this isn't correct. However, if we were to section out that white space into equal parts, you can see that 1 out of the 4 is in fact shaded blue. So it does represent a quarter. Let's look at the sixth one. Again, there are 4 equal parts with 1 shaded, so this one does show a quarter. What about the 7th one? It's a different shape, but they're all equal sizes, and 1 is shaded blue. So this one does represent a quarter. And then let's look at the last one. It's similar to the first one. There are 4 circles, and 1 of them is shaded. However, they are not all equal. So this does not represent a quarter. Good job, guys. Now, thinking about what a fraction is, it's always good to look at a number line. Let's have a look at these numbers here. You can see that I'm going to put circles underneath. That's going to help us in a minute. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we've got the digits above and the circles underneath to represent those numbers. Now, when we're looking at a fraction, we can zoom in and have a look at a small section of the number line. So let's expand that 0 to 1. We've got the circle underneath. Now this shows us what a fraction is. So we can section it out into 4 equal sections here to show that quarter. You can see here that's 1/4, 2 sections, 3 sections, and 4 sections. We can also section out the circle so that you can see that it's got 4 equal parts. Let's have a look at this now. You can see that this one section here is 1/4. Then we have the next section shows 2/4. The next one along will show 3/4. And then after that, you've got 1, or you can say 4/4. What fraction is the arrow pointing to? Pause the video and have a think. How did you do? Did you see that from 0 to 1, it's divided into 5 sections? So you can see the 5 sections there. So the denominator will be 5. If we count along, there are 1, 2, 3 sections before the arrow. So that would be 3/5. Where would 6/7 be on this number line? Pause the video and have a think now. How did you do? Let's have a look. We can count along the number line here, so that's 1/7, 2/7, 3/7, 4/7, 5/7, and then 6/7. That's where the arrow would be on the number line. Well done. Now it's your turn. Remember to only do one chili's worth of work, depending on how you got on with the lesson. Depends on whether you have a go at chili 1, chili 2, or chili 3. Remember, you can push yourself onto the next chili if you've really understood it today. Okay, so chili 1 question here says, what fraction of each shape is shaded? Pause the video and have a go now. This question is suitable for chili 1 and 2. How many sections would you have to shade to represent the fractions? If you have the sheet in front of you, you can colour them in. If you haven't, you can just jot down the amount of sections you would shade to represent the fractions. Pause the video and have a go now. This question is suitable for chili 1 and 2. Circle the unit fractions. How do you know which are the unit fractions? Pause the video and have a go now. This question is suitable for chili 1, 2 and 3. Tick the shapes with 1/3 shaded. Pause the video and have a go now. This is a continuation of the last question. It says, looking at those shapes, can you complete the sentences to describe the shapes with 1/3 shaded? And then fill in those sentences there. Pause the video and have a go now. This question is suitable for chili 1, 2 and 3. Draw an arrow to show the position of the fraction on the number line. Pause the video and have a go now. This one is suitable for chili 2 and 3. Look carefully before you put an arrow to show the position of the fraction on these number lines. Pause the video and have a go now. This question is suitable for chili 2 and 3. Draw an arrow to show the position of 5/5 on the number line. What do you notice? Pause the video and have a go now. Amir has drawn some 2D shapes. What fraction of the shapes are triangles? What fraction of the shapes are squares? What fraction of the shapes have 4 sides? Pause the video and have a go now, chili 3. And the final question for chili 3 says, draw 2D shapes to match the description. 1/5 are squares, 2/5 are triangles, and 3/5 have more than 3 sides. Pause the video and have a go now. Good work today, guys. Now's your turn to mark your work. So, this is question 1. What fraction of each shape is shaded? The first one is 1/5, B, 3/5, C, 3/4, and D are 4/7. The next question, you either shaded each diagram to represent the fractions or you wrote down how many you would need to shade to represent the fractions. So for A, you would colour one of those sections to represent 1/6. For B, you would have coloured any 5 of those sections to represent 5/6. For C, you will have coloured 5 out of the 8 sections to represent 5/8. And for D, you will have coloured any 5 of those circles to represent 5/8 there. Good job. This one, you needed to circle the unit fractions. So you've got 1/3, 1/5 and 1/8. And you know they're unit fractions because they have 1 in the numerator. Now, for this one, it said tick the shapes with 1/3 shaded. So we've got C, D, and E. Well done. There are 3 equal parts altogether. 1 out of 3 equal parts is shaded. 1/3 of the shape is shaded. Let's look at the number lines. Draw an arrow to show the position of the fraction on the number line. You can see 1/4 there and 3/5 there. For the second part, you can see 1/2 is there. Even though there are 4 sections in there, that's halfway along the line. That's why I said you needed to be careful with this one. And then you can see where the 1/3 is on the bottom one there. Good job. Amir has drawn some 2D shapes. So, 1/7 of the shapes are triangles, 4/7 of the shapes are squares, and 6/7 of the shapes have 4 sides. Let's have a look at this one then. You definitely needed to draw 1 square. You needed to draw 2 triangles. After that, the last bit says 3/5 have more than 3 sides. So your last 2 shapes needed to have 4 sides or more. So you may have drawn rectangles or any other 4-sided shape as long as it wasn't a square, or you might have had a go at drawing a pentagon, a hexagon, and so on. Good job. To end the week, I wanted to do a shout out to a few children in each class. Now, they may have been selected for different things, they may have pushed themselves onto the next chili, they may have persevered with something they found tricky, or they've had a go at some of my active maths games. So, well done to Alfie, who's been having a go on his My Maths. Thank you to Elsie for having a go at my active maths starter, running around the house and looking at the multiplication on the tin cans. And well done to Simmerpreet for all her lovely jottings there for working out the area. Fantastic. In 4EP, I really like these jottings that Archie, Sam and Shannon have done, so well done guys. In 4M, well done to Myla and Matthew for your work on area, and thank you very much Ethan for having a go at the ping pong times tables. Super. In 4S, I'd like to say well done to Amelia, Izzy and Oscar for your work on area and division. Well done guys, thank you very much. As always, you can send me your active maths videos, photographs or work to this email address. I really enjoy looking at them and you never know, you might feature in one of the videos. Great work again this week. Enjoy your weekend. See you next week.